Hello, this is Debbie Kay with the League of Women Voters of Portland, and you are watching Video Voters Guide or listening to our podcast. We're here today to talk with candidates running in the May 19th, 2026 primary election. The League of Women Voters is very grateful for the support of the Carol and Velma Sailing Foundation, the Weiss Foundation, the Sarah Fruing Fund, members of the League of Women Voters of Portland, and our media partner, Metro East Community Media. With me today is Judge Adrian L Brown, running for Multnomah County Circuit Court Judge in the 4th District, Position 12. Welcome, Judge Brown.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Great. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you are running for this office.
Absolutely. Well, I had the pleasure of meeting with you all in 2020. It feels just like a minute ago, but we are in very different times now, and I am running for re-election at this point. And I am running because I believe that how we serve the public matters as judges. I believe the courts have a duty to be accessible to the public, to actively seek community input, and to really make sure that the public has an opportunity to get to know our judges. And some of that means getting off the bench. The 8 to 5 is certainly where the work is done as far as the cases go. But in this day and age where the judiciary and indeed our democracy is under attack by overreach from executive actors, we are really facing a time where we need to build trust in the judiciary. And the way we do that is getting out and talking to community members. And so I am redoubling my commitment that I made to voters in 2020, that you have a judge that is willing to do that and will be in the communities to ensure that voices are being heard.
Thank you. Please tell us what, if any, criminal sentencing reforms would you support?
So this was a question that when I first saw it, I paused a bit because as a current sitting judge, I have an obligation to not prejudge issues that may come before me. And I also have an obligation to ensure that I am not speaking on policy matters that are not yet law. But I will say there are some aspects of the matter that I believe deserve a little bit of walking back. And that is, we won't even be able to get to sentencing if we don't have enough public defenders to appoint in the first place. And at our courts right now, we are really required to do quite a bit of mental gymnastics in determining who should and who should not be provided a public defender. And that's not a question really that should be asked. If someone needs one and they can't afford an attorney, the Constitution and the law requires us to appoint one. But having said that, if indeed we get to the point in time where we are looking at sentencing, I believe that there are some things that our court, the Multnomah County Court as a leader, is doing that can really continue to be expanded to ensure that the people are served in the community to the extent possible. And that is with our treatment courts, whether that is our mental health court or our drug treatment court or our DUI court or even our serious felonies. We have several treatment courts and we can continue to build on that. I believe one aspect of it that's sorely missing is bringing in families with children into that fold as well, and how we bring those services wrapping around the whole family. Also, particularly wraparound services, ensuring that public defenders have enough social workers to assist their clients. Really, public defenders are being faced not only with a shortage, but they're being faced with individuals that are more acute and have co-occurring issues that oftentimes require that training and skill of a social worker to connect people to services. And to the extent that that can be advocated for to the DA and to the court, it helps inform the best possible way to impose accountability while still ensuring that we're reducing recidivism.
Thank you. Do you have a preference in assignment within the court if reelected? And what would that be and why?
Yeah, so I smile at that because we have 28 general bench judges, and as a general bench judge, you are a generalist. We get every case under the sun, from the simple tort or contract claim to a complex class action civil lawsuit, to the simplest misdemeanor to the most complex criminal felony case. And I can think of none other more serious than those involving children, harm to children. And I have handled all of those. And I love the variety. I thrive on the variety. I think it's absolutely compelling, and it helps you become a better judge when you see the impact on real people, whether it's a civil case where someone's been injured or a criminal case where someone's been injured. There are people behind every case. And so there is absolutely no case I would never say to the presiding judge, don't assign me. In fact, I welcome the opportunity to do the work that the voters want me to do, which is try all the cases. Having said that, I would love to have the opportunity to be a treatment court judge. That is a rotation that occurs not frequently, because it's important to have consistency in those courts. But based on my background in working on civil rights enforcement, involving persons with disabilities and mental illness, and involving the use of mental health crisis services, involving law enforcement and social workers, I believe I do have a breadth of experience to bring to bear. And indeed, I have filled in for Judge Waller many a time when she has been called away to other matters.
Thank you. You are listening to the Video Voters Guide interview and podcast with Judge Adrian L Brown, who is running for Multnomah County Circuit Court Judge in the 4th District, Position 12. Judge Brown, this will be our last question.
Okay.
What, if any, role can a circuit court judge play in the treatment of immigrants in our communities?
Yes, I'm so glad we were able to get to this question. This question has so many facets, especially given what we are seeing played out on our streets across America right now, where individuals are having a hard time even taking their children to hospitals, let alone appearing in court. It's absolutely a serious issue impacting our courts, and it cannot be understated. We have an obligation, I believe. It cannot be overstated. We have an obligation, I believe, to ask what we can do, right? To not assume we know, and to reach out to those communities, not expect them to come to us. Work with our community partners and our community leaders to find out what communities need in order to best serve them. And when I say communities, I'm talking about the diverse array. We often forget, I think what the state has, like, is it 9 languages that they translate the ballots into? There's so much really rich diversity here in our communities here in Multnomah County that go really underserved just because they're either afraid to come into our buildings, they're intimidated by them, they don't think they belong there. So we have to have that courage ourselves and the conviction to go to them. One of the ways I have done this is by volunteering with SOAR Immigration Services. And just recently, another attorney, Bonnie Richardson, and I went to Holgate Library and participated in SOAR's education to the most recent group of individuals who are studying to become citizens. And it's just a rewarding experience. And it's just also breathes life into democracy. And so that's just one small way that the courts can serve our immigrant communities.
Thank you, Judge Brown. This concludes our Video Voters Guide and podcast interview of the League of Women Voters of Portland for Judge Adrian L Brown, running for Multnomah County Circuit Court Judge in the 4th District, Position 12. Election Day is Tuesday, May 19th. To find additional election resources, including online identification of other candidates and ballot measures on which you may be able to vote, please visit the League of Women Voters of Portland's website, lwvpdx.org, and also vote411.org, and then exercise your right to vote. Ballots will be mailed starting out April 30th. For your vote to be eligible to be counted, your ballot must be received by Multnomah County Elections Division or in one of the designated ballot drop boxes in Multnomah County, no later than 8 p.m. on Election Day. We strongly recommend that if you are depositing your ballot with the U.S. Postal Service, you do so no later than Tuesday, May 12th, 1 week before Election Day. Your voice and your vote matter. Thank you for your attention.